Okay, this video is brackets and simplifying. And it's on page 58. And the first point is that a term outside a bracket multiplies each of the terms inside the bracket. And this is a distributive law. So you have 3x minus 2y. And the reason this is important is because now we're starting to work with equations where we don't know the numbers that we're substituting for x and y or a and b and c. And we may not know those numbers ever. And the numbers might change. So that's why it's important to be able to simplify these expressions without any real numbers. So a term outside a bracket multiplies by each of the terms inside the bracket. So we've got 3, so we multiply like this, and then like this. 3 multiplied by x is 3x. 3 multiplied by negative 2y. So this entire thing is one expression. So 3 multiplied by negative 2y is negative 6y. And that's all there is to it. Let's do another one. So the second example is 2x multiplied by x minus 2y plus z. So we multiply this first. 2x by x is 2x squared. Then we multiply this entire expression. 2x multiplied by negative 2y. Well, we can multiply the numbers together. 2 by minus 2 is minus 4. Then we have the x multiplied by the y. And the last thing we do is we take it all the way to the last expression, to the whole expression, and we multiply positive by a positive. 2x multiplied by z is 2x z. Let's do one more example. Gezondheid.
Thank you.
So this is example 2. This is example 1. And now we'll do example 3. 7y minus 4 multiplied by 2x minus 3. And that's what we are simplifying or expanding, because we have something in a bracket and we're expanding it to outside the bracket. So the 7y remains the same. It's not multiplied by anything. Now this negative 4 is one expression, because any of the signs that come before a number or an expression with x, y, z, they all come together. So this negative 4 is going to be multiplied by this positive 2x. We can't see a sign here, so we know it's positive. And then that negative 4 is going to be multiplied by that negative 3. Negative 4 multiplied by positive 2x gives me a negative number, negative 8x, and a negative 4 multiplied by a negative 3 gives me a positive number, and it's positive 12. And then they go through some rules here. When you're adding or subtracting, not everything can be added together. So, in general, numbers can be added to numbers. It's the first point. The second point, x's can be added to x's. Y's can be added to y's, and x squareds can be added to x squareds. And what this is called is grouping like terms. So if you have 16x plus 10x plus 13, you have to look at them and say, which of these terms is like another term? And the two like terms here are x is 10x and 16x. So I can add those two like terms together because they're both a number and an x. A number and an x. So I can have, so this equates to 26x plus 13. Now why can't I add this 13 to anything else? Because it doesn't have an x. It's not a like term. It's not like the others. Let's do another one. Let's say we have 2xy plus xy plus y minus 3y plus 42. So let's find the like terms. I've got a like term here and here. 2xy plus xy is equal to 3xy. I've got a y all alone. And then I've got another y expression here. So a number and a y on its own, they're like terms because I can imagine there's a 1 next to this y. So a positive 1y minus 3y, that's going to give me negative 2y. So these two terms are alike. And this term is on its own, so I just add the 42 there. Let's do an example from the book. So this is example 4 from page 58. And here we have 7x plus 3x, 2x minus 3. That's our full expression. So first we'll expand the brackets. So we have 7x. This is a positive, this is a positive, but I'm going to multiply them together just as I did before. So this number, or I should say, this whole number here is going to be multiplied by that, and then by that. The first expression and the second expression. Positive 3x multiplied by positive 2x gives me positive 6x squared. Positive 3x multiplied by negative 3 gives me negative 9x. But then I have two like terms. I have 7x and I have minus 9x. 7x minus 9x gives me negative 2x plus 6x squared. And I can easily write it the other way around, so it's a little bit neater. If I say 6x squared minus 2x, that's the same thing. So now you can go on to do some of the questions in exercise 9.